Hello, everyone. My name is Ariana, and today I will be talking about the social learning theory. But before we dive right into it, I think that it's essential for me to explain what deviance is and, what is social learning theory. So, deviance is defined as any behavior out of the normal by public consensus, while social learning theory states that a person learns by watching or interacting with others. So, why is the social learning theory relevant to deviance? Well, like I stated before, we learn by watching others. So, if a person is behaving deviantly, does that mean that we're going to behave just like them? I don't know. Let's talk about it. So, today we're going to be talking about Sutherland's theory, as well as Glazer's theory, and finally, we're going to end with Burgess and Aker's theory. But first off, we have Sutherland's theory. So, Sutherland said that differential association leads to deviant behavior. But what exactly is differential association? Sutherland defined this as if a person hangs out with an individual who's deviant more often than another person who holds normal views, then that person is going to start behaving like the deviant person. And I like the phrase birds of the same feather flock together, and we can see this a lot, especially in schools. You see, the academically gifted people hanging out with those who are academically gifted. You see the athletes with the athletes, and you see the troublemakers with the troublemakers. So if out of nowhere, let's say per se, a person who is academically successful starts hanging out a lot with the troublemakers, it is concerning. The first thought would be, hey, why are you hanging out with those people? Like, they're troublemakers. You're going to start behaving like them. Oh no, and it's quite concerning. And especially parents adopt this view, the Sutherland's theory, without them actually knowing. They believe that just by, hanging out with a deviant person, you're going to start behaving like them or even thinking like them. But, Sutherland's theory has no empirical evidence and it does not predict people's deviance. Now, Glaser here added the term differential identification. And this basically says that a person who hangs out with a deviant person will not adopt his or her views or start acting like them unless that person identifies with that deviant behavior. Take, for example, a college student who goes to a party. There's music, there's drinking, and there's smoking. Do you think that the student would get involved in drinking and smoking? It's up to the individual. And that's what Glaser states, that, the person has a choice. And this is something that is not mentioned in Sutherland's theory, which is something that I like, choice. You can make your own decisions. However, some critiques to Glaser's theory include that identification with deviant individuals may not be the cause for deviance. And was the person deviant before? Lastly, we have Burgess and Aker's theory, and they replace the term differential identification with differential reinforcement. And this said that, a person will engage in deviant behavior if they find it rewarding more than normal behaviors. Take, for example, a woman who, robs other people and she makes a lot of money and she's never caught, but, she's making a lot of money and she knows that is wrong. Do you think that she would keep robbing other people? The answer is yes, because she hasn't had, consequences to that and she's being rewarded. So, a person would choose deviant behaviors if it's specifically rewarding for him or she. But, a certain critique to this theory is that it does not explain why a person commits a deviant act. All right, this is the end. Thank you for listening.